Hello and welcome back. My name is Wes Clark, and today we're going to be talking about the best AI video models to make your own short little animated series. Little background on me, I am a 24-year-old writer-director. My movies are How to Start a Cult in 5 Easy Steps, coming out November 21st, and The Psychic Files. In my free time though, I like to experiment with AI. If you haven't already, go watch my video on best AI image generation, because that is going to feed directly into this video about how to take those images and make the best videos from them. Something I want to harp on here though is that the most important aspect of making AI short films or miniseries is not the videos. Most people think that the video creation is the most complex, the most difficult, but that's really not true. The most difficult is the image generation and prompting to get the best images. If all of your images from episode 1 to episode 8 have the same style, the character looks very consistent, and you make sure that everything is in line with each other and makes sense, you are going to get a good video quality across the entire thing. However, if you don't spend the time to make the images the best quality they can possibly be, you are going to struggle immensely in the video aspect, which is what we're going to talk about today. So you have all your AI images, and now you need to make them into videos. Where is the best place to go for that, and who is charging the least amount of money to get it done? There's 3 models I want to talk about today: Sora, Sora 2, Veo 3, and LTX Studios. Sora is great for image creation, and it's the cheapest among all the models that we're talking about today. However, I find that their videos are actually not that great. The new download of Sora 2 is pretty good. I haven't used it as much, but it is really geared towards social media videos and not really for short films or professional looking images. I actually don't recommend Sora or Sora 2. So then we go to Veo 3. Veo 3 is probably the best video creator on the market. Anyone in the industry is going to agree with that. However, it's very, very expensive. If you have the lowest model, which is $20 a month, not horrible, you're only allowed to do 3 videos a day. If you're gonna do that, you're gonna be waiting a millennium to actually get a short film made. So you're gonna have to pay for that top slot of Veo 3, which is $250 a month. Yikes. While the video generation is great, and if you're doing real world images, something that looks realistic, then yeah, Veo 3 is your way to go. If you're making an animation, I actually think that there's a better option here. This leads me to LTX Studios, and a lot of you probably have not heard of this. Why is it the best? Well, you can drag and drop not only 1 image, but 2 images, your starting frame and your end frame. This is going to help the model really understand what you want, and it's gonna animate not just 1 image, but 4 images, which means that every time you press go, it's going to give you a bunch of versatility, and they are actually different. Maybe you're not just downloading 1 and picking your favorite, maybe you're downloading all 4 and you're taking little pieces. So LTX is pretty cheap. They have various model levels depending on how much you actually want to download. They do it off of a token system. I think it's about $15 a month, but you get about 8,000 tokens. That was enough for 5 episodes of Sergeant Siwash within 1 month. So I only had to get 2 months of it. And quite frankly, I wasn't spending enough time on it because I do have an actual day job with my movies. And so honestly, that didn't slow me down at all. If I was going to do something really, really rushed or a little bit longer, I would just get the upgraded package from that, which is still way cheaper than Veo 3, so I still recommend LTX Studios. So here are some last tips and tricks for your video creation. I don't like to give the prompt too much information for the video creation. That's what the images are for. In the videos, I'll drag it in and I'll say something like, character moves right. I try to keep it as basic as possible. Any actual movement you need is something that you should reference, but you don't want to go too complicated. Once you say character move right while talking, and then does a backflip, and then does this, the video is going to get crazy very, very quickly. At this stage in AI videos, you want to keep it as simplistic as possible for the most part, and that's how you're going to get the best look. Instead of doing very complex videos, what you're actually going to want to do is just make more images and then be cutting between different angles. The other nice thing about LTX is that it has versatility in what the shot actually looks like. So in that bar at the bottom, what you're going to be able to do is select if it's a handheld shot, if you're trucking left, right, if you're dollying in, if you're dollying out, which is going to make it feel much more cinematic. And then the last thing you get to do in LTX is the amount of time that video is gonna come out to. I recommend doing this because it's gonna cut down on token usage. So if you need actually a pretty wide length of speech because you have a huge conversation back and forth, jack that number up up, do 7 seconds, do 10 seconds, something like that. But if it's just this little insert shot of someone tying their shoe, maybe we're only doing 3 seconds. This is gonna save you money and time. My last and final note here, do not be lazy and do not be overly cheap. What I mean is that if you're going to make a short film, a short series, or a movie with AI, do not put images in there because you thought, well, I don't really need this to be animated. The human brain is very good at telling if something is moving or not moving. It's a danger response. If you're in the woods alone at night, you need to be able to hear really well and see really well. And so when you have a still image where you meant to have a video, even if you're like, there's no real difference here, we know things are not moving. We know it's a solid image. Don't be that person. Don't do that. And that's about it. Again, video creation is not the hard part. It's the easiest part in 2025, which is absolutely insane. The hardest part is images. So if you're worried about the images or you just don't know what to do, go check my other video out. If you're gonna go make something on your own I inspired you, please send it to me. I really want to see what you made, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. It's really, really helpful. And go check out How to Start a Cult in 5 Easy Steps, which launches in November 21st. Go watch my movie. I'm so proud of it. Thank you so much. Bye.